Um, Good evening, guys. So I know it has been long since I last um made a YouTube video, so I'm just going to try and update the bank app system. Where we are, the algorithm. I have been coding. I have not just been making videos. So let's just dive into that. So um I made a lot of changes from the previous version that I had up on my GitHub. If you check, you would have been seeing some commits, changes, and things like that. So the first notable one is the database. It is no longer a TXT file. It is now a JSON file. Reason being that TXT files don't have like full support for dictionaries um formats compared to JSON files, where it is like more well structured in this format, where you have your account number, then name, last name, date of birth, pin, the SHA-256 format, your balance and everything, and it's just more easier to relate with. So let us walk through how I implemented that. So imports, daytime, dates didn't change. We still use the random hash lib was already like I did it along the first video where I was trying to like encrypt password pin. Don't let me call it password. Then okay, I imported JSON, import OS as an operating system, and then you import time. So I assigned db.json. Mind you, if db.json was in another folder, the same folder as my bank app script folder, then I would have specified the full part. But because it is in the same folder, I can just call the name db.json, and then transaction.json is just the way banks monitor your transactions, like okay, what you are doing on the account, when you deposit, when you send money, when you withdraw, all those things, like logging it along the time that you also do it. So yeah, before we had file to date, now we have load data. So basically what we just use load data for is to open the JSON file. So def load data, defining the function load data, if not os path.exist. That means if the path, that's why we imported os, if the path of this db file that we specified here, that is db.json, that we've assigned to this variable db file, if it doesn't exist, then return like null. This empty, this thing is null, set theorem and all that. But if it exists, then it comes here. Okay, so it tries to open the db file in read mode as file, then return json.load. That means it loads the file. There's dump, there's json.load. Json.load is gets in the sense of, okay, we have get, we have post, put, updates, things like that. So json.load is get, json.dump is put. So it loads the file, then except an error occurs, then like maybe it couldn't decode the JSON file, then it says okay, file corrupt empty. So if I should clear all of this, then it is going to return this response whenever we start the code. Okay, file corrupted or empty, starts now fresh. Then that is that. Yeah, so that's for load data. That is to load the main database, this file here. That is to load this up. um then save data is basically us saving the data the user changes into the database. So this is just basically open db file, db.json, w as in write. So it is not a as in append, it is w as in write as file. Then we dump data. JSON.dump takes 3 parameters, sometimes two. If you don't want to specify this indents, you can omit it, but um it is advisable to specify the indentation. So JSON.dump data, the data that you're passing in from here, dumps it into this file, and then sets an indentation of 4. That is how the save data works. Then load transaction data is basically the same thing as load data. The only difference is load transaction data is just our transaction files, transaction data, sorry, not transaction files, transaction data. but it's basically the same thing. Then save transaction data is also the same thing as save data, but the only main difference is A instead of write. The reason being that if you use write in the transaction data, I'm still yet to figure out why that is like that, but I know eventually I'll find the reason around it. So initially I was using write, but anytime I did write, it just like rewrites everything in the transaction data, but it doesn't do the same thing with save data. In save data, it's, I think the main reason why is like for save data, we use save data for just account creation and then maybe changes made on the account. While with transaction data, you can perform like multiple transactions all at a go where you are logged in. So I think that's maybe the reason. Like at so let me break it down like this. When you run your code, the chances of you running save data continually is only in two instances, when you are creating an account and when you are making a change on the account. Usually the balance, that's the only thing that we usually change in the account. But when it comes to save transaction data, you can make like 5 transactions at a go while you are logged in into the account. So when you are constantly doing W instead of A, I think it overrides everything. But in append, it is just like, okay, what is already existing, let me just add to it. I think that's the reason why it was giving me that error. I might be wrong, I might not be wrong. I mean, anyways, so hashpin, we know what that does already from the previous video. Basically to just convert our pin to the SHA-256 formats. So yeah, let's get into so I think to show you guys create account and login, I think I should just show you guys the interface first. So what we do in the interface, basically we set data to load data, basically calling our JSON file to, okay, load up, like start, and our load transaction data to also load up. So we print welcome to Wema Bank. So create account, enter 1, to login, enter 2, then they enter an option. So if option is equals to 1, then we create account. So I think I should actually do something like this here. So I've been implementing this all over my code because the way users are, you might tell them to input only numbers and they input an alphabet. This is like int, as in integer, so it doesn't take in alphabet. So try except value error return wait, print, don't let me do print, return print invalid inputs, and then we can just like return or exit, still the same thing. Anyways, yeah, so let me just save that. That'll be part of my next commit. Yeah, so create account, login. Yeah, so okay, so yeah, as I was saying, we load the data into this variable here, and we load transaction data into this variable here. Then if option is equals to 1, create account. So basically we are passing in our data and our data into our function so that our function will be able to use them. If I don't pass this here and I don't pass this here, our function will not be able to use them. Like we might be calling it, but we might be calling data, but to do like, what is data? But because we've simplified it from this end and we just pass it into the function parameters, like parameters that it takes in, then it just makes it easier for it to, okay, load it in. So let's go to our create account. So as you can see, I passed it in here as a parameters. It takes in data and data too. So welcome, we're happy to have you join us. Basically majority of these things didn't really change. First name, last name, date of birth, date of today, just checking if you are greater than, if your age is greater than 18. Then input your pin, then the various checks. Okay, if the character is not a, like if all characters are not digits and it's like a this, then it tells you, okay, invalid report it, and then it cancels. But if it passes that, then it checks if it is greater than 4, pin cannot be greater than 4. If it is lesser than 4, pin cannot be lesser than 4, because standard operation, most pins are lesser than like 4, not greater than or lesser than 4. Then the pin that you enter, hash pin, to convert it to a SHA-256 format, because you don't want pin to be stored directly. It's the same way with websites. They don't store sensitive information or PIIs without hashing it. So the account number creation, this is basically it. While true, this if account number not in data, then break. So it keeps on running this until like an account number that is not in the data. And data is what? Data is our db.json, because when we call data, we're calling load data. And what does load data do? Load data opens db.json. So yeah, it checks if account number is not in data. If it's not in data, then it breaks. That means it's this account number here is going to be stored as the account number for that particular user. Then details, first name, last name, date of birth, pin, hash pin, and your balance is automatically set to 0 because obviously it is a new account. Then what we do is that data account number. So we pass in data into bracket account number. That is going to store account number then details. That means account number is going to be like the key and dates are going to be the value, but it is a nested key value pair. So there's key, then there's another set of key value. So this is what it does. This whole data account number, then this is what it looks like. This is the account number, then this is this. So this is the key, then all of this is the value for this key, but this can also be considered a key and this is also a value. So that's why I was saying nested key pair. Yeah, so then this is just to initialize the transaction data this thing for like that particular account number. That okay, so you don't have anything, but now because you've created your account, like let's just initialize an empty dictionary in your account number's name, and then we save the data, save transaction data, and then we print okay, welcome, first name is this, um this welcome, first name, your account number is your account number. Then to log into your account, enter 1. To close the app, enter any other number. So this was what I just did down there. Try accept. So inputs, like I was saying, some people they don't listen to instructions. You tell them to enter numbers, they enter alphabets or something else, and they just like return some weird error, and they can, oh, your code is not it's not user friendly. That's the word. Yeah. So if option equals to 1, that is you want to log in, then okay, it passes in data and data 2 in the login. Else it prints login. Then time does sleep is just to make it look all fancy, that okay, it counts 3 seconds. Basically that's what time does sleep does. Count 3 seconds, then it prints okay, you have been successfully logged out. Then that is the end of the code. That is if you don't want to do any other thing. But if you want to log in, then we come down here. So I'm not yet done with the whole login this thing, but I think I have done for 1, I've done for 2, and I've done for 3. That's transfer. I'm not done for withdraw money, and I've not done for get transaction history or to log out. Yeah, so login. So for you to log in, obviously you have to pass in your account number because that's like your username in this app setting. So you enter your account number, then we do user data.get account number. Basically, we're trying to get the account number from our data. What is our data? db.json. So and then we also do transaction data to.get account number. So we're trying to get like okay, existing transactions that you already have so that we can update from there. So if not user, then print okay, no data for account number. That means if this doesn't exist, if the account number that we're trying to get from the database doesn't exist, then tell okay, no data found for account number, end the code. But if it exists, then we come down here. Now our pin trials equals to 4. So while pin trials greater than 0, so in conventional apps when you try passwords, you try maybe like 2 trials, they lock you out for 30 minutes and then you're given another 3 trials. And this one, after 4 trials, yeah, you can't um basically, you have to start over again. You are not locked out for 30 minutes. You rerun the code and then you basically try to log in again. So then you input your pin. So then we compare hash pin. Now I could have dehashed the pin from the database, but that isn't necessarily secure because someone can decide to like intercept and steal the pin. But instead I just, okay, the input, I hash it immediately and I convert and I compare it to what is already being hashed. So there is no like, okay, lapse in between anywhere that can say someone is trying to hack or someone is trying to intercept. Let me use that word, intercept. So if it is the same thing, then it prints, okay, what game, blah blah blah. If it is not the same thing, it comes down here. So let me just scroll down this line and then it says pin trials minus equals to 1. That means it reduces the number of pin trials you have. Then if your pin trial is still greater than 0, it says, okay, incorrect pin. You have, so if you start with 4, you have 3 trials left. If you have 3 left, 2 trials left. It keeps on running. Else, if you hit 0, too many field applicants access denied, then it ends the code. So basically, that's the else for pin trials. So if your pin is correct, it tells you welcome once again. First name, that's your name, and your account balance is, whatever your account balance is. So if I log in Ayo, it tells me welcome Ayo, your account balance is 133,000 naira with this hash sign behind it. This hash sign behind it. So yeah, wow, true. So basically, this is just like a loop that keeps on running that allows you to perform operations over and over again until you click on logout. When you click on logout, basically it just breaks the loop and that's that. So I've not worked on that part, but that's like the easiest. So I'm taking it linearly. So to check account balance, enter 1. So when you enter 1, this will try except, like I keep on saying, if you enter an alphabet when you're meant to enter number, so this tells you invalid input. So when you enter 1, if option equals to 1, pin input, please enter your pin to confirm. So when you enter your pin to confirm, basically it's just saying, okay, you want to check your account balance, then we need to confirm that you are the one actually trying to check your account balance. Some people just want to check your account balance just to know, basically, maybe you've already logged in, but you're not with your phone, and then it's still like you left your phone open and they want to check your account balance. So without your pin, they can't do that. So that's just like this extra layer of security, I guess. Some might deem it necessary, some might not, but you know um you can never be too safe, I guess. So after you've entered your pin, once again it compares if the pin is the same thing. So if it is the same, print your account balance is this. If it's not, I can actually implement this. So let me just else, like if your pin is not the same thing, then you should just print um incorrect pin. Maybe I should just print incorrect pin. I don't think I should return. Nah, no need to return. Let's give them another option to keep on trying. So yeah, incorrect pin. Yeah, that has been implemented. That's like simple, very very simple. So yeah, that's just like check your account balance. That's basically what this line of code does. Then if your option is to, that is, okay, you want to deposit money, um try. So the amount you want to enter also has to be an integer. Please enter amount you wish to deposit. If it is not an integer and you want to deposit ABCDEFG, you print invalid input. Yeah, so basically what we do is, okay, you want to deposit money, so we just get your current account balance. That's data account number. Remember, data is our db.json, gets the account number, which is the key, and then balance, which is the value, key value. Then it adds the amount. It saves data, so we call on save data. Remember, this is our save data function. Basically just dumps, chasing or dump, it just dumps basically the new value is of the amount. It saves it. Then time is in a string, a file, like we convert from, I think daytime is like float or integer, either one of the two. Anyways, I don't know. So we convert it to a string because our this thing can only store in string. It doesn't allow like dates dot time dot now to be it can store in integer, but like when it comes to something like this, that is, 2025 06 24 1508, then with this TZ narration, it has to be converted to string. So basically, your money has been successfully deposited, the amount that was deposited, and the time that it was deposited. So this is it basically. So I deposited 15,000 into my account on the 24th of July 2025 at 3:07 5 seconds .197,849. So basically, it also assigns account number and to these dates, and then it saves transaction. So that's what we have seen just here. Yeah, so then it prints, okay, you have successfully deposited blah 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 into your account. Then I leave option 3. Now this one I had fun doing it. That's to transfer money. I had to like, calm down, normal book and pen, write out what I wanted to do. So first things first, destination account. Okay, so you input the account of the user that you want to send money to. Now, because this isn't like a global database stuff that I have access like NIBBS database or something. So the only accounts that you can send money with this algorithm is accounts that exist in this our database for this particular bank. Does it make sense? Yeah. So you input your destination account, then we try to get the destination account of that particular user. So if it doesn't exist in this database, then it tells you that okay, destination not found, return, thence the code. But if it exists, then okay, that is the first check. Then we ask you to input the amount that you wish to send. Now, if the amount is greater than your balance, say for example, I have 133,000. If I want to send 134,000, obviously 134,000 is 1,000 greater than my balance. It tells you that okay, amount greater than current balance. You can't scam the bank. You can't, be in debt with the bank. They just brought lights. So receiver is going to be basically what I did here was to like concatenate the name and the first name and the last name of the receiver so that we can store it in our database. So then it tells you again, extra information the way bank does. You're about to send blah 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 to this person. So please enter your PIN to confirm the transaction. So it tells you to like okay, confirm the transaction. So if the PIN is equals to like if the hashed version of the PIN that you just entered is also equals to your PIN, then it subtracts the amount from your balance and then it adds the amount to the user's balance. So that's what we see here. Subtracts money from here and then it adds it to this balance. So this is what we can see. You have successfully made the transfer. You have successfully made a transfer. You have successfully received some money. So we'll see that part of the code where it says that you have successfully received some money. Yeah. So it saves this. So after money has been deducted and money has been added, it saves it. Then the time again, you want to log the time that the transaction happened. That's your point of transaction. Then the dates that are going to save for the sender. So okay, you have successfully made a transfer. Then the amount that is sent, the time that is sent it, who is the receiver. That is what this receiver works for. This whole line of code. That is what we see here. You have successfully made a transfer. How much? 1,000. When did you send it? 25th of June. Who is the receiver? Fola Oguns. This is Fola Oguns here. Fola Oguns. And what is the account number of the person that you send the money to? This is the account number. So that's basically like enough details. Then we pass it data 2. Obviously our data 2 is our transaction data, account number, details of the sender, and then also sender. Who is the sender? So first name and the last name. So also dates of the receiver, like what the receiver is going to see for details. So details, you have successfully received the money, the amount that was sent, time of the person, time that was sent, sender, then data 2 destination account equals to dates receiver. So this is what we have here. You have successfully received money. How much was sent? 1,000 time. So this the reason why it saved twice was I made a mistake So after I did this initially, I called this save transaction data yeah, and then I called it here again. So because it is both, they are both data too. So when I call it, it's just going to save once. So that was like an error on my part. So that's why it has like two instances here. But yeah, that has been solved. So it returns to the user. Okay, after it has saved all this, print transfer successful. So yeah, so far so good. That is next thing I want to work on is to withdraw money, um, then get transaction history. Basically, to just get transaction history of Pascal users. I wish I could code and record at the same time, but like I really don't have that luxury of because I'll just be coding and I'll be doing no talking, so it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, these videos help explain like my thought process and what I was thinking when I was developing the code. So yeah, 25-26 minutes long. That's about good enough to just bring you guys up to date with where we are with the algorithm. If you check my GitHub, the link that's always attached to the videos and my posts and everything, you will see the commits and you see the updates. So you know that I have been working. I've just not been making videos. Thank you guys for watching this. If you stayed up to the end, hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.